JD Vance had
what
a video.
What happened to JD?
Yes, posted of him by Newsom that got a lot of people talking. I don't even know how to introduce this. Okay, so Trump, in response to his failed meeting with Democrats, was childishly posting these AI videos of Hakeem Jeffries in a sombrero with mariachi band music. And I'll remind you of what that looked like. And so he had posted the original one, and then he took, or someone did, and he posted it, the video of Hakeem Jeffries responding to the video and made more AI video. And so then Newsom had a response using a Vance something.
It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
So, I mean, one thing, by the way, this is just a strategic bit of advice to Democrats. I would say feel free to call it out, but I would try not to get outraged. That's kind of the idea. And calling it childish, that's good, and ridiculous, and you're kind of brushing it off as, see, there he goes again. He's not serious about fixing the problem that is happening while he's president, which is this shutdown. That's good, but some people, I think, fall a little bit too much into the trap that Trump's setting there. And someone who did not was Gavin Newsom. Which, by the way, to the people who got mad at me for laughing about a serious subject previously, the Hegseth speech, don't you like this, though? Newsom being silly? You can use humor, I think, in a way that is positive, even about something serious. Newsom drops wild AI attacks of his own targeting JD Vance and sofas. I don't know if he was targeting sofas, but he definitely was targeting JD Vance. So let's see what Newsom was up to. He said, poor JD, his sweet beloved couch now costs more with the tariffs. And this was the video.
Hello and welcome to my show, A History of Couches. I'm your host, JD Vance, and we've got a special episode for you today. Some artifacts shape nations, others shape desires, few shape both. The Chesterfield couch is one of them. Commissioned by Lord Philip Stanhope, the 4th Earl of Chesterfield, this sofa was designed for posture, elegance, and control. Deep button tufting, rolled arms, a back and sides of equal height. A design that did not merely support the body, but contained it. Once reserved for aristocrats, the Chesterfield spread into libraries, parlors, and now living rooms worldwide. But its allure has never diminished. There are rumors that I once had an encounter with a Chesterfield. People exaggerate, twist the truth. But when you sit on one, you understand where such stories come from. The Chesterfield isn't just furniture, it's an experience, and some of us know that a little too well. Thank you for watching A History of Couches.
So some would say, is this what we want our politics to descend into? No. But they started it. You started it, so I mean, here's the thing. This got way more views than a normal, hey, JD Vance is lying about the government shutdown take. I think it's funny. Podcast listeners, it was an AI. You know those memes of JD Vance where his face is rounder than it actually is, and he has like big curly hair? It was one of those. And then if you're new to politics, the couch thing is that there was a rumor swirling that is not true, that Vance had told some story of maybe struggling with women, and so then he let out his urges in a couch cushion, and that is not true. And I do want to specify that is not accurate, but it has not left him, despite it being completely made up. And so they were kind of riffing off of that in a funny way, but they didn't stop there. Again, is it childish as well? Fine. But it's self-defense childishness. And I think that's fine. I don't think that I should shoot Jaden, But if Jaden tried to shoot me, then shooting Jaden would be different. And I think that's similar with AI videos. Don't be doing these unless they have been done to you. Do unto your neighbor what they did to you. I think that's how the Bible words it. Sorry. Don't worry about it. Here's the next one. While we watch this one, please do, if you appreciate the show, click the subscribe button. And click the unsubscribe button if you don't like me ever laughing. On the bonus show, you can click the join button. I will be addressing more thoroughly what got under my skin last night about some people upset with me over laughter, joy. They're trying to ban joy in my own audience.
The left wanted to make comedy illegal.
That kind of worked well.
Let's clear something up. Yes, there's a photo of me in drag from a college party, and that's normal. Everyone experiments in college, costumes, makeup, whatever. Totally normal. But what I don't understand is why people are so obsessed with this other thing, couch intimacy.
Oh no,
like,
not
really?
this again.
That's the part you're hung up on? Out of everything? That's bizarre to me. Look, couches are comfortable. They're dependable. They support you when you're down. If you can't appreciate that kind of bond, maybe you're the one with issues.
So also AI, just want to specify for anyone, this photo's not fake. That's a real photo, but then they turned it into a moving photo, as a moving picture, as some would describe it. So more self-defense AI there. And then one last one where Newsom said PSA from JD, and he calls JD Just Dance Vance.
If you're flying today, I hope, of course, you arrive safely and on time, but you may not arrive on time because the TSA and the air traffic controllers are not getting paid today. Our military is not getting paid today, starting today, and obviously the longer this drags on, the worse that it is for the American people.
Now, again, if you're thinking, hey, isn't he, the Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high, isn't he going low down with them? But we tried the when they go low, we go high. And look what that got us. So maybe we try something different. And I also think this is kind of like the Newsom posts that are like Trump's, where he's writing with the funny wording. Maybe it's less so actually doing this unironically, but hey, look at how silly you seem. If you see it done to your leaders, maybe you realize that this is not the way our leaders should be operating. But there's going to be segments on Fox News where they go, Newsom's copying Trump's AI videos. He clearly isn't able to, wow, this comment's kind of strange. He clearly is not able to be original or creative when he's just trying to copy Trump. It's like, no, he's trying to show you what it looks like from our perspective when Trump behaves the way that he does. But now more seriously, since we're on the topic of Just Dance Vance, here is a couple moments he held a press conference. Trump didn't, but he held a press conference, at least as of when we're recording this, on the shutdown.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, and thank you for being here. Yesterday, President Trump said, as a result of the shutdown, we'll be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected, and the Democrats, they are going to be Democrats. Has the administration asked agencies to target federal workers who they believe to be Democrats in these reductions of forces?
We're not targeting federal agencies based on politics. We're targeting the people's government so that as much as possible of the essential services can continue to function. That is the question the president has asked the entire government, is fundamentally, okay, we're in a shutdown. That causes...
I'm sorry. First of all, great question. Hey, Mr. Vice President, can you defend that Trump was saying that we'll be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected, and they're going to be Democrats? They're going to be Democrats. We're going to target Democrats and lay them off. But then listen to the difficulty that comes through in Vance's answer.
These reductions of forces.
We're not targeting federal agencies based on politics. We're targeting the people's government so that as much of...
We're targeting the people's government?
possible of the essential services can continue to function? That is the question the president has asked the entire government, is fundamentally, okay, we're in a shutdown. That causes some problems. The troops aren't getting paid. There's nothing that we can do about that while the government is shut down. But there are essential services that we want to make sure as much as possible they still continue to function. That is the principle that's driving us forward during this shutdown. It's going to continue to be the principle that drives us forward. But let's be honest. If this thing drags on for another few days or, God forbid, another few weeks, we are going to have to lay people off. We're going to have to save money in some places so the essential services don't get turned off in other places. That's
not even how that works, by the way. You do pause things. Them saying this is why we need to permanently dismantle parts has never been how the government operated during shutdown. So he's making that up too. But watch when the reporter here goes, no, but Trump said that about firing Democrats for their politics.
Reality of the government shutdown that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have foisted upon the administration.
So what did he mean by they're going to be Democrats? He said they're going to be Democrats.
You've laid out a...
And Vance just ignores it. So that's scary. And then he gets asked about this reporting, Trump to withhold billions of dollars. And this is just in general. Vance will try to connect it to the shutdown. This is just separate from the shutdown, something Vote is moving forward with. Trump to withhold billions of dollars from Gateway Tunnel and 2nd Avenue subway projects. The Trump administration is planning to withhold billions of dollars from one of the nation's largest public works projects in direct retaliation for the government shutdown, which Republicans are blaming on Schumer. White House vote said Wednesday the administration withholding roughly $18 billion from New York City infrastructure projects already allocated, but they're freezing it to punish Schumer indefinitely. Not a normal government shutdown pause. This is how they're leveraging their power to punish their political enemies, but the justification is so insane. They're pausing this or withholding it from New York City infrastructure project because of, quote, unconstitutional DEI principles. Now you tell me, what is DEI about a new train tunnel under the Hudson River to connect New York and New Jersey? It's just the way that they're making it, like the way they're making it under is like a really kind of homoerotic. There's something about how they're structuring the tunnel. It's just really gay, I guess. So we can't. What does that mean? How do you have a DEI infrastructure project? Okay, but that's always their default justification for cutting funds to important projects that have already been congressionally appropriated. Here was his answer.
And we're not going to let them.
And the administration announced today that $18 billion bound for New York transportation projects is going to be frozen so it can't go to DEI programs there. But the timing of this, does announcing that today mean that you guys are going to squeeze Chuck Schumer's home state until he blinks?
Look, I haven't talked to Russ about this morning, but look, I'm sure that Russ is heartbroken about the fact that he's unable to give certain things to certain constituencies. We want to do everything that we can to help the American people.
Okay, so just boilerplate, blah, 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 which was the response on a lot of different things. I saw from Levitt too. Getting asked about farmers, or here he's getting asked about an infrastructure investment, and it's all, well, we're just
question.
Kind of that on some of them, and then often just, well, we're gonna do what's best for the American people, which kind of not being able to come up with a better, well, that's mischaracterized because this was in the works long before we wanted to punish Chuck Schumer for anything, because we think that bridge, the way it was being planned and how it had a really phallic resemblance, is just not in the interest of anti-D. Like, they're gonna paint it black, and so we think it's too like, they don't even prepare any answer like that. It's just, well, we're gonna do the best thing for everyone, even if that's not so.